evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. Joined as always, we got Raymond Lyons, Carter Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr., and Wizards fans pretty happy after a rather, I don't know if it was a heartbreaking loss, but a tough loss to stomach last second to the Bulls a couple nights ago. Tonight, another good game, but this time Washington was able to come out on top, holding off the Hornets 124 to 121. Before we find out what Raymond and Cardell have to say, we got a quick word from our folks over at Uzanas. As always, it's kind of really specifically, it's for the folks in the DMV here, snowed in. We're open, dine in, carry out Uber Eats. Join us for delicious soul food, hot and ready at uzanas.com. Now, y'all know how this area goes. It's going to last for a little bit because everything's not going to be cleared up by tomorrow. All right, so who wants to go first? We just talk about what you guys initially thought of on this game. Cardell, you can go first because Ray was here with us last night. But
It was a win that they had to gut out, and I'm glad to see them finally gut out a win. These are the type of losses earlier, especially in December when they had that slide that they would have just fell apart and the Hornets would have just blew them out. But that second quarter was a hell of a test because I don't know what flipped in that quarter, but it's like the Wizards we kind of saw it on that slide just appeared out of nowhere. Turnovers, not defending. Hornets getting whatever they want, especially Gordon Hayward. Man, he took it back to like Butler, dog. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get to the league, dog. You just cooking and everything that moved, man. And I'm watching the game. I'm like, geez, man, like, y'all serious? Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all had a good rhythm, but to their credit, they buckled down the second half, got back to what they did in the first quarter. They defended well, held them to one shot. They contested threes, and they ran when they could. But in the half court, they moved the ball. You know what I'm saying? And when they moved the ball, they found open shooters. And when you find those shots, man, those are rhythm shots. NBA players should be able to hit a good amount of those. And that's what you saw tonight. As a team, I believe they shot 42% from three. And they've been struggling from three all year. That's how they really pulled out this game because, that LaMelo struggled, but other guys stepped up. Gordon Hayward stepped up. Miles Bridges did his thing. Rozier, he just loves seeing DC. He just, that's going to be 25 plus. That's what he does, man. But, they did a good job. Otherwise, saying, just buckling down control and keeping the turnovers down in the second half. And that's what allowed them to execute on offense when they moved the ball. And they did their thing, man. I love what I saw from Kuzma, obviously. He was big time tonight, man. He was on. He was just locked in. And, Bill damn near had a triple-double. A little sloppy with the ball at times. He makes me nervous when they bring the ball up still a little bit, man. It's just, he just gets too cute with the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's not necessary. I love it when Denny brings it up or Spencer and they give it to him on the wing or something, and then he attacks or makes a play. And either he's going to try to score or make a play that way. That's when I feel like he's at his best. But when he's bringing the ball up and the defense has time to focus on it, it's like he falls asleep. Just like late in the game, I forgot who ripped him. Was it Rozier or McDaniel? One of them. They ripped him late in the game, and like we're on the minute left. I'm like, Bill, come on, dog. Like that's what I mean. It's just you have to be alert. You gotta be aware. You know what I'm saying? They could be baiting you as well. So, but that's what I believe just won, man. Once they got past that second quarter and they had a buckle down, they got back to playing defense. The ball movement was great. Excellent, man. It was hard for the Hornets to focus in on one guy. And another key I'm starting to notice with Bill is I think he's starting to figure out where to get his, what I'm saying, without disrupting everybody else when everybody else has it going on. I think it took him a while. And I think that's why he was kind of early in the season, he wasn't aggressive. But then they started losing games. He's like, I got to get aggressive. He got to do him because when he do him, the whole defense is going to focus on him, and that allows Kuz to get shot. That allows Bertans to come off the bench with 14, Kispert to have 12. That allows for other guys to get their shots. You know what I mean? Because the defense so focused now, it makes it easier for them. You can't wait for them to kind of get going and stuff like that because it's just not going to happen with the defense kind of being honest. You know what I'm saying? Brad got to score to draw two or more defenders, man. It's just real. And when he does that, the Wizards are a better team. So I think he's kind of figuring out. Like when Kuz has it going, he's facilitating. Go ahead, do your thing, Kuz. But when the offense gets flat, then he goes to work. And then when his money time, he got to bring it home. You saw he got extra aggressive to make sure we keep the lead or we mount our comeback so we can try to get this game. And I think he's figured out when attacking us, and the Wizards are better for it, man. So uh, it was a gutsy win all in all, man, and one they can try to build on Wednesday. I know the Houston Rockets got their problems, but they're a young team, and they've been playing a lot of teams tough. And I think that will probably be the first game where Porter and Wood are back. So they're gonna be on one to try to redeem themselves for the embarrassment. So they got to come to play again on Wednesday.
All right, how about you, Ray?
Yeah, man, I was nervous in that second quarter, man. I didn't know how they was going to respond, coming back after halftime. But the main thing that was troubling me was the Hornets went on that run with LaMelo basically being non-existent, and I just kind of figured he would eventually come around, and that would only make things worse. But like Adele said, man, they came out after halftime. They got back to it. They buckled down and was able to get the game. Like I mean, the turnovers, man. Like people need to really understand the effect that has on the game because like they were defending well in the first quarter, but when they turn the ball over and Charlotte is getting runouts and layups, you don't have an opportunity to defend. So and that just threw everything off. And then their defense was fueling their offense. They getting stops, they limited them to one shot, and they coming down and getting some good. But it just went off the rails in the second quarter. Thankfully, it was the only quarter that went that way. Because in the second half they got back to what they were doing well. Bill looked great. Aside from a few miscues with the basketball, but yeah, it looks like he's starting to find his way. The last couple games he's gotten back to the guy that just goes in and gets a bucket whenever he feels like it, and that's what they need. They don't need him trying to fill things out or make sure everybody's happy, so to speak. They need him to score points. That's his role on this team. Um, Denny's continuing to improve. I like it when the ball is in his hands. He makes great decisions. He's that's what he did overseas. And he's getting an opportunity to do that in the NBA. And of course, it wouldn't start off that way because he's very young. This is only his second year, but his play dictated that the he gets a little more wiggle room, and his yielding results. I think Kisper did a good job. He came in, played within himself as he always does. 12 points, 4 rebounds. Uh, Bertans, man, he came in and hit some big shots when they needed him. We gotta speak up when he does well. Because we definitely definitely let it be known when he doesn't. But yeah, man, he shooting with confidence. Not second guessing anything, which is man, basically when people do their job, things go well for the Wizards. When they defend, things go well. When they move the ball and get good looks, things go well. They just got to do that stuff more often. So yeah, that's all it is, man. People just got to do what they're getting paid to do. When Bertans isn't able to shoot knock down shots like this, when he's on the floor, he's pretty much useless because his job is to space the floor and make the defense accountable for him to open things up for other guys. And when he's not able to do that, then it's hard to justify him getting minutes. He hit his shots today. He's what 4-7 from three. That if he can do that consistently, he's doing his part. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and Kuzma, like I don't know we getting into him late in games, but I'm here for it, man. He has the ultimate confidence. At times it could be to his detriment, but he always kind of reins it in. I like the fact that he's getting downhill and and being aggressive to start with, as opposed to starting the game shooting jump shots. I think when he, especially last couple of games when he's done that, just got a couple easy ones to go down. His rhythm is much better, and it carries on throughout the game. And it's much more sustainable. Because he's not relying on 3-pointers and staying out the lane. He needs to be down there. He's 6'10". So it's no use him camping on the perimeter. But yeah, man, all in all, it's a good win, man. A good win against a good team. And we talk about the standings and how jumbled they are a lot. This was a big win for them. So yeah, good job, guys. Hopefully you can keep it going on Wednesday, and we continuously see them improve. It looks like they're it does look like they're gelling, which is weird because it's just such a crazy time with the roster construction with people out. But I mean, I guess guys are realizing they don't have a choice. So yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when everybody gets back. But I think this is stuff that they can build on.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what you guys had. I like the start. Obviously, I think we all did. You come out, score 38 points, and you slow Charlotte down. I mean, LaMelo didn't really get into the game to midway through the second quarter. Um, and credit Miles Bridges and Gordon Hayward keeping Charlotte around, especially in the second quarter when they led that. Charlotte put up 39. Like Washington had 38 in the first quarter. The Charlotte turned around, buckled down on defense, got stops. Miles Bridges was everywhere. Both him and Kuz got off the really good starts, as did Gordon Hayward. I'm sorry. And then like Cardell mentioned, Ray, you did as well. It was cool to see Brad kind of picking spots. And that third quarter was well timed because it was needed. And then Kuz for whatever reason, like you said, Ray, I don't know how to exactly quantify it or what the exact reason is. He shows up in fourth quarters. He seems to hit shots. It's just a matter of depending on the night how consistent he is the first three quarters. Tonight was one of the rare nights where he was consistent kind of throughout. He got a strong start to the game. Finished how he's seemingly been finished as of late. Like even against the Bulls, he hit the big three that was the go-ahead shot before DeMar did what he did. That was Kuz hitting a deep three, and we've seen him that's several times this year. He's hit big shots for them late. But go figure. Defense, you get stops. It matters. Stops would have helped in the Bulls game. Like you said, you guys both mentioned, they're shorthanded. The important thing is they got the win, and it matters because it's somebody not only in your conference but in your division. It just makes the win a little bit sweeter. But all right, guys, I want to see who you guys got as player of the game. Ray, we'll start with you and go to Cardell.
I went Kuz, man. He had a huge game, and he closed 36 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. Yeah, man, he was and the way he started, like you said, and it carried out throughout to the final buzzer, man. He really got to it this game.
How about you, Cardell?
Same, man. He balled with Bill Dave. That's what we expect. It's different though. He's an all NBA player, all-star. You know what I'm saying? Kuz a little bit different. He's a starting player, obviously, but not an all-star or NBA player as of yet. So when he has these type of nights, it's not something we expect. We expect more like around the 18, 9 to 10 rebound type mark for him. So 36, 14 to 6, over 50%. Yeah, you getting it done. Straight up, man. To piggyback what you were saying, it's called irrational confidence. That's what that is. Like he's super confident. It can get you in trouble at times because you miss a couple. The next one definitely going in. The next one definitely going in. And you look up, you go for 7. It's like, dog, pass that thing, dog. But I'd rather have a player have irrational confidence than his confidence always be up and down because you don't know what you're gonna get. And that's part of being mentally tough. Like you don't get high, you don't get low. It's just like the next one gonna go. Even if you 0 for 10, like I'm due. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't get no worse. I'm due. So that's why he's in the clutch moments. The pressure don't get to him, and that's why he performs. So it's great to have, man. When he plays within himself, you see what he gets. It's when he tries to be more than that where he gets into trouble.
Yeah, and obviously I had Kuz as you guys did. I think Cardell, what you said is huge. He felt like he really played within himself for the entire night. I thought he did a good job choosing when to use which tool instead of how sometimes we see him kind of, sometimes he pulls the wrong club out of the bag at the wrong time. It's kind of like, hey, why? But now I think even in the Bulls game, he did a good job where I think in transition several times a night, either he got the board or getting it from Gaff, pushing the ball. The other team doesn't stop ball. Yeah, get downhill. Don't take a jumper. Get downhill. You're 6'10". Go finish. And I think he's done a better job. And obviously, we'll find out as the season goes on and for his development period. If you get to a place where you're pulling out the right club at the right times more often than not, it's a different conversation about who he is as a player or whatnot. But like you said, a rational confidence doesn't hurt when you need it. And he came through for them tonight. Again, him and Miles Bridges went nuts by half. I think both of them either had a double-double or were really close to it at the half. But yeah, definitely cool. Carter, we'll start with you. With this one, who do you have as your X factor? A lot of choices tonight.
Oh, Daniel Gafford, hands down. 15 points, 11 rebounds. He held it down. He held it down inside, man. He's just like the unsung hero, man. He do the dirty work, and no one really speaks his name. I mean, you see him because some of his plays are loud with the dunks and stuff, and some of his blocks and his athleticism. But he's patrolling the paint, man, and you're starting to notice a lot of teams are trying to avoid him because they know he's lurking. He's going to bother their shot or get the block. And then underneath the basket, he's finishing. He's starting to be meaner and meaner. He's like putting dudes in the basket. That matters, though. Like that's you see what I'm saying? Like dudes are less hesitant to rotate over and stuff like that. So, I love the way he's offensive rebounding, how he's cleaning up, missed opportunities and stuff, and then running, basket to basket. That's an underrated skill, man. Especially against a team like Charlotte that runs on makes and misses. Like he's getting back. It was plenty of times he saved the possession because when Bill or Denny got fouled, they pouting, and meanwhile Charlotte gone, and he's hustling back, and then they got to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's not an easy basket because he's under there and guys get back, and then here from Bill and Denny and stuff like that. That is little things like that help you win. Whereas if he's just jogging, they gonna outrun past him. Ain't no shot block back. They go to the basket. You're gonna get easy lay-ins. And now you're in a dogfight. You know what I'm saying? Or you getting blown out like they did in the first game. So, 15 and 11, man, 3 blocks, 6 or 7 from the field, 3 offensive boards, for sure, man. You got to give it to him, man. He's getting better and better. His field's getting better. He's staying out of foul trouble. And I'm loving his trajectory, man.
All right, Ray.
Yeah, man, Gaff. When he's not in a game, it's a layup drill for the other team because they have no fear of anything at the rim, and it's just like they feel like it's like when the hockey team pulls a goalie. Like, so he changes the whole complexion of the game, man. And I know a lot of times that stuff, like they'll say, it goes unnoticed, but because when he's in there, they're not going to the rim to allow him to get blocks and all that type of stuff. So his presence just has an effect on the game, and then you throw in his hustle, and then on the offensive side, he's becoming more and more effective on that end, and efficient as well. So yeah, man, he's the X factor for sure because he swings the pendulum one way or the other, whether he's in the game or not. And that's when they when Charlotte kind of started their run, he was off the floor, and Bridges and Gordon Hayward just started getting to the basket, and that just kind of spilled over, and everything started working for them. So yeah, Gaff is my X factor as well.
Yeah, might as well go ahead and make it 3 for 3. One of the reasons, we talk a lot about him, whether he's able to stay on the floor or not. He only had 1 foul tonight. We talk about the times where he does, get baited in the silly foul trouble, and how much it impacts the rest of the team, especially on the defensive end. But only 1 foul tonight. He got to play 36 minutes, and you felt his impact the entire time. Even, I think Danny and a couple others did a good job on LaMelo early, but some of it was LaMelo got to the rim, but Gaff was there. He may not have blocked the shot, but he altered several shots down there. Watching Charlotte, Man, LaMelo and Miles love to get out and run. They're always going. Miles Bridges only had like a couple dunks tonight. I think both of them were in transition. Usually, you could just go Google Charlotte Hornets highlights. First three things popping up is Melo throwing the lob to Miles. At least a couple of those, the first things popping up is that. And he didn't have any of those tonight. I think the last time they played, like you mentioned, Cardell, Plumlee had a big night. Tonight, he did a couple things. He does a lot for them, but he didn't have a double double tonight or anywhere close to it. They had to deal with Gaff. And again, even when he didn't get it, his size, like you said, his presence, Ray, he's taking up space, allowing others to board on both ends. So, yeah, I mean, it's huge, especially like you said, Cardell, him being able to get up and down the floor against a team like this that's ready to run just because it was everything. You guys had anything else you want to add? Or y'all ready to move to the comments?
Now we go to comments.
All right. As always, appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll start with Maya, as always. Happy birthday to Denny. Yeah, happy 21st birthday to Mr. Avdia. Birthday and shot selection a little better tonight, thank God.
That's from ball movement, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's what ball movement does. It gets you shots and rhythm. You know, that's what I don't think a lot of fans understand. It's totally different when you got to take tough shots. You're not gonna make a lot of those. Not in this league. You know, guys are too athletic, too good, too long. So you notice most of his shots, except even when he would catch the ball, he's running around, moving without the ball, and they would hand it all to him, and he'd take a dribble. That's his rhythm shot. He literally practiced that. So all his shots came in rhythm. You know, it's when you ask him to do things in any play. If you ask them to do stuff they not acclimated to, they don't work on, that's not their role. It's gonna be tough to hit that switch to be like, I can make it happen. So, um, it was his night tonight, man. They needed it. You see, they only won by 3. And honestly, if LaMelo would have hit a few of those threes, it'd been interesting to see how this game would have turned out. So, they pulled it out, but they still got to clean up the defense, be more consistent with that. And
All right. From Big O, must say Kuz is running away with being a number 2 option. Spence, Rui, and Trez, etc. Get in where you fit in. Interested in what you guys think
hey,
about that.
hey, man. At this point, it is what it is. Whatever gets the job done, dog. Like it's the league, bro. I mean, we can't, we ain't no boys allowed. That's what NBA stand for. So it ain't about feelings. If you want your role to increase, hoop. Isn't that just hoop? It'll take care of itself. But if you ain't hooping, like no, I don't want to call him out, but KCP had a horrible night shooting ball. My
Oh,
God, oh Jesus, you could tell the snow fucked them up, man. Like God damn. Call him on guard, dog. Like that's one of them games. You look, I gotta get a workout in before I go home. Call up, call wife. I'm gonna be home a little late. Just put the kids to bed. And I'm hitting the corner side of the backboard, and I gotta get this right. But you know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? So, he still played hard. Like he had a big key offensive rebound when the game was close. The fourth where he almost went out of bounds. He knocked it back to Bill, and that was huge.
mhm.
I think that led to a Coos 3. You know what I'm saying? So little stuff like that. But yeah, the way Coos is playing, he does it. Why not? Why shouldn't West until after Bill give him the most touches and most opportunities to score? He's being productive. When they're winning. When they're winning because of it. So let's keep going.
All right. David Cornfield with the love for Kuz there. All right. Maya had a question. You guys. Would a trade for Sabonis make sense with Gaff and maybe Trez on the team if we play with the thoughts?
Mm, I, they don't need to make trades. Like they're roster wise, man. We said them from jump. When they made that trade, they're in a good space as far as I'm concerned, man. They just got to be consistent with their play. Like that, but I guess that's the that's the mode we're in now with this current era. You just gotta make trades every time to try to build something. But nah, man, you build something by developing what you have and getting consistency and people getting to know each other as players, and growing together. So I mean, you can't you can't just make trades every year, then because if you bring somebody else in, then you got to change up your game plan to fit them, because you're not gonna trade for them for nothing. So yeah, I'm not. I don't think a trade needs to be made. They made a trade and got 5 players back in the offseason. And they addressed some issues they had. So I think they should just rock out with what they got.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. At this stage with what they have, I mean, for me, I wouldn't really make trades unless we were like a piece away from winning the championship, and it's just a player that's available to fill that role, or if it's a big time player that's available. Where, yeah, like I said, one of them players where the league fills it, and when we get him, we in the mix. That's the only time I would kind of look to trade. I get it, um, certain fellow that plays out in LA kind of brainwash everybody into thinking like you gotta always constantly make trades and stuff every time, but that's not the case. I kind of identify more with the Warriors blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Like they built it up. They took their lumps the last couple of years, but you see where they are now. You know what I mean? They're definitely a championship contender, and they ain't even healthy yet all the way. So I'd rather be in that position. But what's the key principle in what they're doing? They have a lot of players that have been there for years, going all the way back to the championship years. Their championship core is still intact, and they're just adding new, younger pieces to the fray and just teaching them. And now those young players have adapted, and now you see what you get. And then throwing some veteran pieces like they got Otto Porter, guys like that on minimum deals, but they're hungry to prove because they want to win. They done got the bag. They done average 20 and stuff. I'm a one. They're at the age now where the only thing that matters is winning. So you got guys playing for one another. That's what the Wizards have to get to. You know what I'm saying? That's changing the culture. It's tough to change your culture. You know what I'm saying? But that's why the trade was so good by Tommy. You went and got 3 players that won championships. They know what it takes. And that's another thing about the shots Kuz are taking. He done played on the biggest stage in basketball. So he ain't tripping off a regular season game in crunch time. Like, all right, he's eager to prove. So, no, I like Sabonis, man. He's an all-star big or whatnot, but is he somebody that's going to move the needle like that? Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? It's just, nah, I mean, not for the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're giving up Gaff and Trez or something like that. Like, it's kind of a, it's neutral move. It's not something that's gonna really make you better. You know what I mean? Because uh, as good as Sabonis is offensively, he's not the defender that those guys are and stuff like that. So he's just gonna give you points and rebounds. He's a solid defender, but he ain't a rim protector. So it's gonna be the same issues. You know what I mean? And like you said, you gotta bring him in, get acclimated, and then Wes Unseld gonna have to be like, he's going to demand he play defense at a level he's not used to playing. And can he play that level of defense? I don't know. So, and let's be real. If you that dude, if he's really worth all that, Indiana will be in a much better position than they will be. You know what I'm saying? It's just facts. It's just how I go.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys on this. I mean, just for starters, you don't even know what this team is right now because this team currently constructed, nobody's seen it at full health. So before you even think about, before you even get to part 2 of maybe figuring out how to tinker with it, you haven't even left ground zero. We don't know what it looks like all the way. We've seen everything we've seen so far has not been fully healthy. A fully healthy team. It's been no TB, no Rui. It's not to say that they're saviors or anything, just to say as a whole, we haven't seen it. So I would wait to see what everything looks like.
Right.
And like both these gentlemen said, some of the things they have issues with right now, who knows? You might be in a better place when you have all your pieces, when Coach West has all his tools available to him to pick and choose how to attack and solve certain issues teams present on a nightly basis. Another thing is, honestly, like the Wizards have a couple things a lot of other teams would like. Why give them up? You know what I'm saying? Like they have a bunch of players at a premium. All these big wings they have, he's got Denny being a primary ball handler, running point in certain situations and things like that nature. A lot of teams would kill for one of those. You got Denny, you got Kuz, Rui, etc. I'm sure somebody would love this version of Gaff. Shoot, the Bulls would love this version of Gaff. All right. So again, I would just say let's wait, chill, let people come back, see what they look like. check back in a couple months when everyone's available, see what they look like, so we get a really clear picture. Because right now there's no possible way to know what they look like. And like Cardell said, honestly, I'm not moving anything unless somebody brings a deal up where I just can't say no. And it's that type of player.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But outside of that, again, there's a lot of teams that would love to have the size this team has on the wings.
Yeah, like if the Bucks call him, man, we tired of this dude Giannis, man. We trying to move him back. Well, what? Man, who you like, bro? Like, take who you want. You know, man. Hey, man, go pack that dude. Get his lockup out of here. He ain't not even making a call to him. He'll find out from Woj. Like, that's how it goes. And look, the business, dog. You know, but that's what it is. And like, I agree, Wilson. Like, I'm eager to see how Gaff and TV play together. Because see, that's ain't no buckets down there. Both of them go for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna change defensively crazy. Like the guards will be like, go ahead. And like I said, you have those two type of bigs, those high motor, dirty work bigs behind you. They're gonna be making guys like that can't defend like Bertans look like he can defend all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be pulling, I don't even want to go past it. Damn. Move the ball, he's gonna take a bad shot. That's where that's at. You know, so yeah, I mean, look, Sabonis a dog, he can play, man. But for this team, he won't make much difference, though, unless, especially with what they have to give up, it would kind of be a neutral thing.
Because like the only thing that could, just like you said, it's just not a good look. Just let's find out what this team looks like with everybody available, and then maybe entertain something around that time. But honestly, again, I know it's kind of old school. Just sit with what you have and figure it out. You got a bunch of dudes where we don't know who's gonna be here next year or not. They got every incentive to show you why they want to be here next year. Or so you know what I'm saying?
The teams that have stayed consistent throughout basketball, think about it. The Warriors got the blueprint from the Spurs. The Spurs got the blueprint from the Utah Jazz. What did all three of those teams do? They were always competing for chips. Now, the Jazz ain't get them done, but the Warriors and Spurs did. But the main thing they had was camaraderie. Same core. A couple players may go here and there, but they didn't really make a lot of trades or blow the team up every couple of years, man. You just don't do that because it takes its toll. And at the end of the day, if you're a coach in the front office and stuff like that, you may not have that time to be trying to keep blowing stuff up, man. You're going to be unemployed. So your best bet is just do the best job you can and just build that team up and let them rumble. Look what Chicago did. They just made they were lottery last year, though. They just made key free agent signings and, keep under the radar sign like Caruso. They got the Rose and big signings. They're at the top of the East now. They're a problem. That's what you do. You make smart transactions like that. But they needed to do that because they were that bad. You know what I'm saying? The Wizards are different. You know what I'm saying? So, I like what they had, man. They just got to defend and want to get healthy like every other team and get the whole team healthy. We still haven't even seen that. So, like Wilson said, we'll see.
And obviously, like you brought up the Warriors thing. I remember when everybody was laughing at them about Jordan Poole. Not funny anymore. It's not funny at all. They got a third one in the OGs. Yeah, it's not.
They was like Monte Ellis, that dude. Or we need to trade him. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Just sometimes it's best just to sit and let the players grow, develop, and get better. Who knows? You might end up with a mob. Who knows? And then you could go into free agency, and then you can choose what fits best. That's a whole different way to go in there. All right, David Confield, Bertans shot much better tonight. Y'all are wild. Still giving him a boot. Still boo military. Big boss man. Cartel style. Y'all are wild. Maya agreeing with you, Cardell. I think earlier when we were talking, same thing with David Confield. Again, we appreciate you guys being patient with us to get to your comments to the end. KCP gives and takes on offense, but always solid on defense. Had a super solid game for his Bulls too. Really like him.
I mean, I do too. Like he made LaMelo work. He took him out the game and stuff like that. That's why you live with it. Then he ain't have a great shooting night either. But they play defense. Let this be an example for you youngsters. If you play defense, you will be on the floor, dog. Like, trust me.
40 minutes for Denny. Not to cut you off.
And he was 1 for 7, I think. So that matters, bro. You know what I'm saying? It matters. You always have people that put the ball in the hole, dog, but everybody ain't willing to dig deep and do that. But if you're trying to win, you're going to have to do that. And that's what the Wizards are trying to do, man. They getting stops. And they needed guys that get stops, man. Kuz and Bill was taking care of the offense, man. They needed guys to get stops on, especially when Gordon Hayward and Bridges woke up. It was like, God dang. And then Rozier woke up. It's like, all right, you gotta have people out there to stop those guys. Because the thing about it, you know, my coach said, man, yeah, it's cool. You can get 35, but the guy get 36, he beats you. So I mean, it's simple. You gotta get stops.
Yep. All right. Just kind of piggybacking off that conversation we just had from a question from I believe. And we appreciate you guys as always. We will see you again Wednesday night. For those of you who want to see us a little sooner than that, obviously, you know, every week, Focus TV Wednesday mornings on Roku. All you got to do is search for the Focus TV. Friday nights on DC TV, and again on the Roku channel, all the Wizards outlooks. If you miss them here, just add the Focus TV Focus TV Roku channel. Wizards outlooks go up there as well. So y'all have a great evening. For Raymond Cardell and myself, we'll see you guys very soon.